Hey everybody, and welcome back to more Silent Hill 2. I'm still Niggeroth, and we are currently still in the Woodside Apartments. We should be able to finish them off this time around, though. We don't have that much left, but there are still a few curious bits to run into. Thankfully, though, it seems that Pyramid Head has not waited around for us. He was just kind of scowling at us. So let's not worry about the first floor for right now. Let's go ahead and head up to the first floor. Since we really haven't had a chance to look around that much on the third floor, I should say. And here is a good view of what the game looks like when it actually gets into really darkness. As you can see, there's not a whole lot you can actually see going on. But it allows us to get a good little jump on the enemy. The one thing I have noticed, though, is that there are times whenever you don't have your light on that for some reason James will not do his finishing stomp. So yet again, there is another drawback to not having your light on. So we get another much closer view of Pyramid Head and what appears to be some animosity, to say the least, between some of the entities of Silent Hill. Just goes to further show that Silent Hill on the whole isn't really, trying to work together to defeat any particular person. It's more just manifestations, per se, of individuals. I think it's shown even more, at least in Silent Hill 3, between different enemies, that especially things like Pyramid Head, which seem to work kind of independently sometimes, that they definitely do not agree with some of the other entities that may or may not appear. But we were able to get a key from inside that closet. Coincidentally, if you do happen to leave your light on whenever you enter that particular room, that cinematic ends up kind of looking a bit weird because it has James with a very bright light, flashing through the closet, obviously doing a piss poor job of hiding, to say the least. But, we're making good headway along the third floor. There's not too much more important stuff on this particular floor. It's mostly just a means to get around to other areas that we needed to get around to and to get a few keys here and there. But I'm always trying to be as stealthful as possible. It's actually amazing how much you can elude and get the drop on enemies without your light on, but you always kind of still run into the worry, especially with the lying figures, that they're just going to immediately start racing around the floor. So it's kind of a trade-up depending on how safe you feel in your combat abilities. But I'm not sure if this is a placeholder graphic where it appears to say Travis painting serve? I'm not sure if that's just English, placeholder text, or what, but it just seems a bit out of place, along with Clock Magazine. But mostly this particular apartment is just to get some additional items if you are in need of some healing and if you want to admire some art. But pretty much that is the third floor completely done. It appears though that I'm running up quite a stockpile of bullets, so why not put them to good use? Now, though this stairway actually may seem a bit familiar, it's actually not one that we've been in yet, as you can tell by the second floor being boarded off. But it does allow us some measure of exploration, at least on the first floor, which we haven't gotten to yet. Not that any of these doors can actually be open, but there is something special waiting for us at the end of the hallway. Now you may be wondering what we are going to be doing with this 6-pack of juice. Well, the juice is heavy, to say the least, and it's going to be part of a puzzle for later. For right now though, since we did get a courtyard key from the, I think the closet where we were hiding from Pyramid Head in, the courtyard key is actually going to allow us some more exploration of the first floor. So now that we are back in what some could assume to be the main lobby of the Woodside Apartments, we can now get out into the courtyard or general recreation area for the apartments. And over here we'll actually be able to see and interact with the pool, which seems to be without water at this particular time. But that doesn't leave people from, or things from, obviously enjoying the pool. Now you have to be careful around the edges of the pool, as you can actually fall in and take a little bit of damage. Not to mention you can easily be cornered by these 3 lying figures. But you know, since I have plenty of bullets, it's time to unload some rounds, and I get to show off the relative ease with which it takes to at least temporarily knock down lying figures. And it looks like they're trying their best to swim, just as I'm trying my best to hit them on the ground, and apparently failing quite profusely, to say the least. But in this baby carriage here in the center is a coin, which I think is going to be the first coin that we've gotten. That's actually going to be used for a puzzle in a different set of apartments, which we haven't been to yet. But that's all we needed in the pool. We don't even need to finish those guys off. They're having fun swimming, I suppose. But we can continue exploring over the rest of the first floor, getting in some more combat. I suppose more or less like you could consider one bullet shot to be equal to one swing of the plank. But the main difference is that with, being in melee range, you can just easily, quickly stomp on the enemy. But if you're at a considerable, shooting range, they could easily get away. But it sounds like someone is having a conversation with the porcelain, so we should probably go to investigate that.